It's time for breaking bread with Papa. Hey! Don't you know? Hey! It's sourdough. Hey! It's time for breaking bread with Papa. Hey! Don't you know? Hey! It's also a show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Breaking Bread with Tom Papa. I am Tom Papa. Thank you for joining us today. We have an amazing show. We've got Jeremiah Watkins on the program. Very funny comedian. He has a new special on YouTube called Daddy. Very inventive, very animated, very funny. He just is a good mix of smart, silly, and fun. And it really comes out in the special. You're really going to like it. Today's broadcast is brought to you by TomPapa.com. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you, Tom, for being a sponsor of today's show. You can go to the website and you can find the new book. Oh, I should have brought the book. Damn it, Joey. I should have brought the book. We're all in this together, so make some room. Is available for pre-order right now. And I just did the audiobook for the last 3 days. So if my voice sounds sexy, that's why. It's tired. Also, my tour, we've just added extra shows in Atlanta. Thank you so much for coming out, by the way. I've seen a lot of you out on tour, and you're filling up these amazing places. We sold out Town Hall and Niagara Falls, and the first show, early shows in Chicago at the Vic and in Atlanta at the Buckhead Theater. So we added late shows in Atlanta and in Chicago. And then we've got Grand Rapids, Cincinnati. Very excited about Cincinnati. There's an amazing steakhouse in Cincinnati. Oh, I'm very excited to go to that one. And I'm spacing on the name. I'll look it up. I'll sneak it in later when I'm talking to Jeremiah. So yeah, the tour is rolling. Go to tompapa.com for all that good stuff. If it looks a little different today, if you're watching this, we have an adjunct restaurant attached to our normal Breaking Bread headquarters. This place is pretty cool. I like it. It seems like it's going well so far. This is our first one here, and where we normally record, sometimes it's tricky to schedule and do different things. So we want to, we're franchising. McDonald's didn't stay one spot. It spread out. We need a couple things here. We've got some great books. We've got books from our guests. Sam Sifton, Pig Beach, we've got Il Buco, we've got pizza books, we've got Bosch, we've got a whole bunch of cool stuff. So I'm very excited. And you know what's really cool about this is that I'm able to bring things from my house and then just spread them around. But we are short on some things, Joey. We're going to need an espresso machine. We're going to need wine glasses. I like the glasses. These came from our trusty producer, Joey. He, for some reason, has duck glasses at his house.
It's a mallard.
It's a mallard, the sexiest of ducks. Wait, the mallard is the male or the female?
I thought they were like separate from ducks altogether.
No, it's a kind of duck. I always get confused. It's the mallard and then the brownish one. And I feel like this is the male. Whatever it is, they're delicious. If you can get your hands on a duck, you're really going to have a great meal. Well, welcome to the table. We've got bread for Jeremiah. He is a very funny comedian. So let's jump in. Thank you for being here. And enjoy Jeremiah Watkins. Thank you for doing this. This is very exciting.
Yes.
You're the first person to sit in that seat.
I'm so excited.
I know.
There's a dinosaur puppet here?
Yeah, we
Are
have a
you
puppet.
kidding me?
I know. I have so many toys at home that I can't go on my desk. And I'm like, let me bring them out. Isn't that good? Doesn't it feel good?
It feels great.
Yeah.
Feels really good.
What is his voice?
Maybe something like this.
Ooh.
Something slightly regal, but also educated.
An
An educated dinosaur.
It's a little Star
A
Wars.
little bit of maybe Yoda is maybe a distant cousin or something.
I like him. I baked you bread.
I'm so excited
Now
to try your
I baked this. What you're gonna have to do?
I get to try it in front of you, right?
No. You can smell it. I'll only let you smell it.
Okay.
You're a family man, so you're gonna have a good serrated knife at home, right?
I'm a big sandwich guy too.
Oh, you are.
I'm a huge sandwich guy.
This is perfect. Okay, so I baked this. So what you're gonna do when you go home and you're ready, just to give it a little life because it came out last night. It's fine. Oven at 200.
Okay.
If you have a spray bottle, you can hit it with some water.
Okay.
If you don't, you can flick it some water.
Mm-hmm.
Not that important. Just 200 for like 5 minutes.
All right.
Take it out, slice it up, toast it. It's going to last for the rest of the week.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
That's for you.
Thank you very much.
And you know why I'm giving that to you? Not just because I love you, but because congratulations on your special.
Thank you.
Good job.
I appreciate that. Thank
Really
you.
good job. That's a huge undertaking.
Yeah.
To do your thing and do your own thing and then put it up is huge. And you know what I like about it most? It's fun.
That's the goal.
It's fun. It's not heady. It's not going to like beat you up. It's like just good. This is my favorite comedians. Just have a good time.
Take it or leave it fun.
Yeah. Really good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I love how you're probably not even aware. You have a real big improv background, but I'm going to tell you what your background is. And but within your bits, I can tell that you're spreading out even within your like planned material, like going to the audience, doing different things. Like you give yourself room.
I try usually when I do even scripted material, like you're saying, I leave the wiggle room so it doesn't ever feel stale to me.
Yeah.
Because if, when we're having to rehearse over and over the same bits of material and sharpen them and get them tighter, for me, like, there's beats that are going to be the exact same every time because I have to hit those. But based on the energy, I can kind of tailor it to that crowd, maybe milk certain moments a little bit longer than I may have on other nights. Or if it's not, tighten it up a little bit and move on to the next beat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun to watch. It really is. Just like hooking it with the German, the German thing. Then you had that guy. It was just really fun. It really is good. It's interesting. I was watching a bit of mine, and it's like I'm so freed up now that the special's done. You know, and you've just been out.
I like the set design and everything on yours a lot.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I take pride in it being tight. Like I don't want extra words. But then watching yours, it was like you could leave a little space. It could breathe. It could breathe.
Just some breathing room here and there.
Yeah. Are you happy with it?
I am.
Are you allowing yourself to be happy with it?
I'm allowing myself now. The first couple of days, I mean, it's just been like so much just leading up to it because I don't have like a publicist or anything. So I'm just trying to call in favors to friends and be like, hey, can I guest on your pod? Love to do that. And I really appreciate you having me on.
Oh, please, of course. Yeah, I mean, this is the greatest part about our era.
Yeah,
is that we can all just run around and talk to our friends.
I know,
and turn people on to great comedy.
Yeah,
that's pretty amazing.
Make an excuse to go different places. Great, catch up. Yeah, no, I'm.
As a matter of fact, you should have been making me bread.
I should have. Well, I owe you a sandwich now. And I've claimed I'm a good sandwich guy.
Yeah, what is your sandwich? What's your? Okay, I'm coming over to your house.
And I'm making you a sandwich?
You're making me a sandwich.
Okay. If I have everything at my disposal, and I can put whatever on, I'm going to be putting probably some kind, maybe like a Virginia ham, mesquite turkey, or maybe a Cajun turkey.
Nice.
Thinly sliced. There's going to be a couple different kinds of cheeses on it. Maybe a pepper jack cheese.
Ooh.
Maybe just an American or a sharp cheddar.
Is your pepper jack coming in a slice, or are you slicing it off a block?
It's going to come in a slice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. There's got to be good pickles.
Ooh, on the sandwich.
On the sandwich.
Nice.
There's this place that I go to at the farmer's market in LA that if you like good pickles, called Kalen and Kalen.
Kalen and Kalen.
They're a little pickle stand that That's all they do. They sell pickles, and they sell honey mustard. They sell spicy dill, jalapeno, a sweet heat pickle chip. It's a lot of different flavors.
When you walk up, how many barrels of pickles do they have? About.
They have at least like 4 or 6 different kinds of big barrels, and then they've got on display, I think there's like 10 different flavors now.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's like a boutique pickle
Can
shop.
I ask you something about your life?
Yeah.
Because your life is similar to mine. Funny person, getting into the arts, creating a family, doing all these things. You ever fantasize of being the pickle guy? You ever fantasize? I daydream. I talked about it in one of my specials, I think, that a bagel shop down at the beach. Pretty good life.
I fantasize sometimes about tearing tickets at movies. Yeah. I'm like, what would that life be like? Just to, like, you know, you make whatever kind of money, but you get to see whatever movie that comes out the week it comes out.
Yeah.
Maybe a little even ahead of time. And you get to refer people. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. You have your bits.
Yeah.
People are coming in.
Oh, and you're killing from time to time. And nobody knows that this is rehearsed. So you can improv a little.
Yeah.
You can sprinkle in the stuff that you know that works.
You got your lines. You got your things. You're making people laugh. When everyone's sat, you kind of like roll up to the people at the concessions. Have your bits with them.
Yeah.
Have your little secret spot where you go and watch the movies. This is amazing. You know what's similar to that fantasy?
What?
When I was at Wrigley Field, and at Wrigley, they use a lot of really old people to take your tickets and bring you to your seat and wipe your seat down.
Okay.
And there was an 80-year-old guy. It was a beautiful day. And the guy is just like, 80, glasses, Cubs hat, takes you to your seat, has his lines, makes a couple jokes, gets your seat all ready. It's like, how about that for retirement?
That's fun.
Right?
That's a fun retirement job for
Catching
sure.
in the ballpark. Oh.
My dad, what he's been doing is he's been volunteering his time at the Salvation Army. And during Christmas time, he was one of the bell ringers, and he said he had so much fun just interacting with people all day.
Yeah.
Just getting little tips for the Salvation Army and doing that. And he's a BS artist, so he can relate to anybody. Like, I mean, he can talk with anybody, talk anybody's ear off forever. He's an old salesman.
Was he that was his job?
Yeah, he's sold about everything in the book.
Really?
Yeah.
God, those guys are built differently.
They really are.
They are.
They can I've seen him connect. I mean, you talk about crowd work and connecting with people in a short amount of time. Like doing it in real life, that's another skill set when it's not centered around a show.
Yeah.
Making somebody crack at a cashier stand or something like that who's having a bad day.
100%.
That's a skill.
I wish you could well, I'm going to clip this part out and like show it to my children. Cuz whenever I'm working the bits, they're like, Dad, stop. Like, I've got my 3 girlfriends that work the cashiers at my supermarket. They're all average age 62.
Yeah.
I love seeing them. I'll stand on longer lines to go visit and have our little thing. Yeah. It's a nice relationship.
It's great.
Right? You get your lines, you get your stuff. I love it.
My friends...
was it cringy for you when your dad was doing it when you were a kid? Because now you appreciate it.
Now I appreciate it for sure. I think probably I was like, Dad, what are you doing? But like my mother-in-law, she will try to relate to people, and she'll accidentally start doing the accent of the restaurant that we're at, and that's always like, okay, well, this could go one of 2 ways. She came in very Caucasian, and then the Chinese food is slowly being ordered a little differently as the night goes on. That's when it's like, I don't think you're aware of what you're doing, but you're sweet. You're sweet. It's out of love. She's trying to relate.
Yeah, she's trying to relate. My kids bust my wife whenever we're anywhere. She just goes into this default foreign accent. It's not really anything.
Yeah.
It's a little English,
Uh-huh.
but it's very overpronounced. Is there a farmer's market here every day?
yeah.
And my daughters are like, she's doing it again.
Oh no, mom's at it again.
Is the weather like this all the time?
I mean, this is when I was a kid, that I would have to like kind of kick my dad under the table. He always has asked the from question.
Uh-huh.
He is always like, "Where are you from?" They'll say, and he's like, "Where are you know what I'm talking about." Like that kind of like we're the same here. Come on.
Right. What do you mean that
He wants to know like what country of origin they're from outside of the U.S.
Oh, so when where are you from? They're like Burbank.
And he's like,
come on, give me the.
Who are we kidding here? I'm your old pal. You can tell me, like that kind of thing. And they never get offended, but I'm like, Dad,
No, they
I don't. No.
I love that. My in-laws were the same way. They and they're all older. They came from a generation where asking someone where they were from was a celebration of it.
Yeah, a conversation starter.
Yeah, it was like, so where are you? Yeah, what's that accent?
Yeah,
where are you
I'm
from?
picking up on something.
And it's Epcot. It's cute. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, I don't talk to someone from Germany all the time.
Right.
Yeah, give me some. Now it's very strange. I don't think in the everyday it's strange, but in the media, even just saying like, so what are you? It's like, what are you doing?
Wait
a minute.
You trying to put a label on something?
Right, exactly. Yeah. Are you thirsty? We have water.
Oh, great.
We have beer.
Oh, I brought a little of this. I might put it in the glass just to join you.
To class it up.
Yeah, class it up.
Do you drink?
I don't.
For some reason, I knew that.
Yeah.
Did you drink?
No, I never got started. It was one of those things where I had just enough alcoholism in my family to be like, I think I'm good.
Really?
Yeah. I saw some stuff where I was like, and I have an addictive personality as far as like committing to whatever I do, whether it's my work or when I try to be 100% undivided to whatever I'm in. Very be in the moment with whatever I'm in. And I feel like sometimes that can be a little bit extreme sometimes with things. And I think some of my family members kind of have that a bit.
Right. So did you clock that as a kid?
I didn't see my parents drink until I was like a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But before that, it had more to do with religious upbringing.
Right.
Like where it was like scaring you, like, hey, if you drink, you're going to burn forever. I'm like, oh, then I just won't do that. That seems pretty simple.
I don't want to burn.
I don't want to burn. There's root beer. There's other stuff.
What was your religion?
Protestant Christian.
Protestant?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Protestant's nice.
Yeah.
I keep telling my daughter gravitates towards Protestant or anything with a guitar and
the youth pastors with the guitars.
The youth pastors with the guitars and the communion is literally torn bread.
Yeah.
And I'm hardcore Catholic. Like I don't practice, but it's in me. I was raised Catholic.
Sure.
And hers like Protestant, all that stuff is like, I'm like, it didn't scare me.
Right. Yeah.
Like I want to leave there like, oh man, I got to really get my act together. Like these old priests just yelling at you and shaming you.
That's what I felt like as a kid. The way that it was taught to us was very like,
really?
Like, hey, if you, the way that I grew up was, it didn't matter if you, this is what's scary about the way that I was taught to me. It didn't matter the scope of your life. If you happen to sin that day and you hadn't asked God for forgiveness, you were going to hell.
Whoa.
So that's so extreme and intense, and it gives you so much anxiety to constantly be like, oh, I better be like on a good path.
Yeah. Was it religious schooling or was it just your extra outside
school and
school?
church? I went to a private Christian school until 8th grade. Then I started going to public school in 8th grade.
Got it.
Yeah.
And were you like, what are these kids doing?
Well, I was like, this is amazing. I was like, the girls wear shorts here. Wow. I was blown away. I was like, also, they're all beautiful. What were the trolls that I was going to school with?
If they only could have taken some of their clothes off.
Yeah. My mind was completely blown. Like
Yeah.
I fell in love with so many girls immediately.
Yeah. Were you able to slide in, or was it like into just the scene of school, or was it coming from Christian
That's
school?
where comedy bridged the gap for me.
Okay.
Because I was known as like the new funny kid.
Tall.
Yeah.
So you showed up. You're tall.
I tall. Yeah, they're like I had a good enough sense of humor where I was funnier than the kids that were just quoting movies all day, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Doing Monty Python over and over, or
I mean, yeah, just whatever big movie at the time.
Yeah.
Like they were considered adjacently funny just for quoting it at weird times, and people are like, "This guy's funny," and it's like they have no material other than like regurgitating.
Yeah. And you came in knowing.
I'm like, just a little bit of wit, just a little bit, nothing crazy, just enough to be like, this guy's a little clever.
Yeah. Survival. It is amazing, isn't it? It really is like such a valuable tool.
Yeah, it prevented me from getting in a lot of fights over the years too.
Yeah.
I've never been prone to fighting, but
Did you ever punch anyone?
One time I remember hitting a kid in the face. But I didn't follow through. So it literally was like, and he looked at me, he goes, "You're lucky you're Jonathan's brother." I had an older brother. And he goes, "You're lucky." And basically like, I'm not going to do anything to you because your brother I like your brother.
And I know I can rip you apart right now,
yeah.
but I can't.
And I was like, oh, that was like the last time. And I was in grade school.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even bring myself to follow through on the punch.
You think it was like, what am I doing? Kind of a
yeah,
feeling?
I think it was just like, I don't even remember what caused me to even get that mad where I lined up.
Right.
Yeah, but I didn't when I was like, what am I doing? This isn't me.
I had 2 fights that I remember of like, I mean, there was scuffles, but like 2 of like punching in the face.
Mm-hmm.
And one was at church. It was like they were having something at night.
Yeah, what was it over?
I don't know, but it was this kid, and he was just being an ass, and it was like, let's step outside, like 7th, 8th grade.
Yeah.
And we went out there, and we were gonna fight. And I was big. I was like the same size now.
Yeah.
And I remember we literally like OK Corral. Like we went to the side, we were standing there with his friends around. Like, let's go, like a start. And it was just a flurry of spasmodic
Catfight, just.
And I started crying immediately, not out of being like I didn't understand my own feelings.
Yeah, I was overwhelmed. You're just overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed.
Yeah. Flooded with emotion.
Why am I punching him? Why is he punching?
Yeah.
How did I let myself get to this point?
Yeah. Scary. You scare yourself. Yeah.
I was just completely like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah.
Like, who am I?
I had one of those moments in grade school where this kid kept, pressing my buttons over and over.
Mm-hmm.
He said that he kept saying over and over that I liked this one girl in class, and he was saying it where it was an earshot of other people. I'm like, stop, shut up, stop.
Leave me
I don't
alone.
like her. Stop. And he kept doing it over and over, and I still don't know to this day why I did this. I grabbed the pen on my desk, clicked it, and stabbed him in the arm with it. And he just erupted swearing. This is at Christian school. He started swearing. He's bleeding. I literally was like, like I had no idea. I still have no idea why I thought that was a good idea.
Yeah, but it's coursing through us, and you have to learn and how to corral it.
Yeah.
There's just that thing in guys. It's just that thing.
It's a dormant, weird warrior thing.
I love
this barbarian. Like, why would I do that?
It sounds like he deserved it.
Oh yeah, he did. He the next day with a Sharpie, he had circled the spot just so more people would see it. Just to bring more attention to it. Yeah, Jeremiah stabbed me yesterday.
Well, that's what they say. Like when you come into a prison, you got to stab someone your first day.
Yeah.
To get the respect of everybody.
Well, nobody messed with me for a while. So I guess it worked in 6th grade. So
my other one, this one was heroic because I was in high school at a party, and this guy who was like kind of my size but kind of mushy, and he was picking on this kid with Tourette's at the party, and the kid was just like he was a sweet little kid, and the Tourette's kind of increased with time. So by high school, like we knew him as a kid, and by high school, it's like he's struggling,
Yeah.
And this guy is just at the party, giving him the business,
Just relentless.
just being an ass.
Yeah.
And I, to defend him, told him to cut it out, got in his face. He said no. We went outside again, we were going to fight over this. And it was so like movie-esque, like one shot in his jaw and it lifted him up and he fell back and it was over. One shot.
Whoa.
I was like, that was like, it's the opposite of when you're like spazzing out, I don't understand myself.
Yeah.
This was like, I'm doing this for all the right reasons and it's working out. It's like victory.
Do you still remember how you felt when you clocked him?
100%.
Was it what kind
It
of?
was a right hand. It was like kind
It
of
was
a
like
hook.
a little bit of
a
hook
little
uppercut.
Hook uppercut right to his jaw.
Yeah, if you hit somebody in the chin wrong, they'll buckle
Yeah,
immediately.
You're right. And he like literally, in my mind, he was 6 feet off the ground.
Yeah, his back was completely parallel to the ground.
Right, exactly. In the Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah, and on the ground.
Wow.
And yeah, victory.
Did other kids see you do that?
Yeah. Wow. Girls.
Epic.
Epic
moment.
Epic moment.
That's like a life-changing moment.
Because I was a little shitty, bullyish in 7th, 8th grade. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I would pick on kids, and I learned that wasn't kind pretty early.
Yeah.
So I switched. I literally switched. So then I just became the opposite. I was like, don't fuck with little kids. And I always, from that point on, like high school on, I always have a collection of oddballs around me. And there was, to be totally honest, in the beginning, it was like, I still want to fight.
Mm-hmm.
And now I can get away with it.
Yeah.
Like, I would have some wise ass oddballs who would start fights with bigger kids because they knew, like, they have an older brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Papa's coming to town.
Yeah. And I was like, come on, you didn't have to do that to that.
All right, here
we right. Are you still Christian? Are you still practicing?
It's a very LA spiritual kind of thing. I mean, it's very LA to say that, but so I pray every day, still believe in God.
Right.
Still believe in the teachings, but it's not so literal with me anymore, where the organized religion aspect, I'm kind of turned off by that side of things.
Yeah.
That's, the people end up kind of messing up what the message is supposed to be meaningful about.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. I mean, there's people who do it right, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of it where I feel like there's a lot of judgmental energy kind of, and
you got to let a lot go to sit through those a lot of sermons.
Yeah.
You got to kind of like, I remember being next to my sister and she was like, I'm out of here. Like at a christening or something after we had left church and went back and I'm like, just take the good parts. And she's like, I can't get over the bad parts, especially as a woman in the Catholic Church. It was just like, it was too much.
yeah.
And I'm like, just pick. It's like a buffet. Take the Jesus.
I mean, honestly,
Jesus stuff was cool.
That's how religion ends up working out for you, is picking out what kind of works for you.
Yeah. You have kids.
Uh-huh.
What's your plan with them in that regard?
So we pray the dinner table right now, and it's very cute.
How old are they?
My son is about to be 2, and then our second is due in June. So
Second is due in June.
Due in
that's
June.
right. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
There's nothing cuter in the world than a 2-year-old doing this.
It's so
When
cute.
they fold their little hand, those little chubby fingers that don't really fit together.
Yeah.
Is there anything cute?
And he's repeating amen after us, and he loves it. I'm like, this is so cute. I mean, I think it's going to be pretty. My wife went to church as a kid as well, but it was more of a non-denominational kind of thing. So I think it's going to be more hands off in the approach where like, hey, this is what I believe, but what do you believe? And
Right.
just having an open conversation about it and not forcing anything, because I was forced to go to church a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
And also that doesn't help to where I'm at with religion these days. When you're forced to do something over and over, it's hard to be like, yeah, this is what I like.
Yeah, right, exactly. This is my plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. I have 2 older daughters, and they both, we had the same thing. My wife and I actually went to the same church as children.
Really?
She was in the same hometown. We met much later, but just by coincidence, we had the same church.
Wow.
And I was like, I can bring him to church. And she was like, we're not going to church. We're not. Like, she was not having it.
Okay.
And I was like, I can do it. And we just, same thing, I kind of slow rolled it, like if the kids wanted it, and just kind of mentioned it here and there. And naturally, my one daughter was like, no, I don't see it. More of a spiritual thing. And my other one is like, let's go to the place with the guitars. Like on their own, like she just finds something a little bit more, just something comforting. And I mean, there's something so nice to just being able to go someplace outside of the rest of the matrix, the rest of the everyday.
Yeah.
Just to sit just for an hour.
Yeah.
And be like,
safe place. Yeah.
Yeah. And just be thinking about something, giving yourself that space to think of something different for a bit.
Sure.
But yeah, the human interpretation of it though,
it's hard sometimes.
It is. Yeah. It's a difficult thing.
And it's one of those things where I could see myself maybe down the line going to church again. But for the time being, I'm very happy with how I kind of am playing things out at the moment. Yeah.
No, it's yeah. I mean, it really is. When the older you get, you realize that everybody's chasing the same thing. People who are meditating, people who are
people who do yoga,
doing TM, yoga, right? Exactly. All the religions you can list, they all have this sense like there's that hum, there's something, right? Everyone's feeling that, and trying to chase it. And then some interpret it, make it into cults, make it into religions, make it into just a practice, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's very apparent to me that everyone's keenly aware. I've never called it the hum, but of the hum.
No, that makes sense. When you said the hum, I'm like, I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
You're talking about that fight that you had. I had one moment. It was when I was an adult, though. This was a few years ago. Where it was a comedian's thing, but it turned out it started as a bit, but then became real. Have you ever been in a situation like that?
Yeah.
Where like you're horse playing with a brother or something, and you're like, this is fun, and then somebody gets elbowed, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna elbow them back now, and then it just turns into a real scuffle.
Yeah.
We had this this bit that we had set up for. Do you know the comic Louis J. Gomez?
Yeah.
Okay. So he did my podcast, and I'm like, yeah, I've never been in a fight before. And he goes like, oh, we got a slapbox at the end of this podcast.
Oh no.
And so we did, and we both caught each other a couple times, and it was funny, whatever. But
fists or just slaps?
Open hand, just open hands slapping. And at the end, some people were saying that he won, some people were saying I won, but I didn't know that the time wasn't out yet, so I like lowered my hands, and then he just like kind of just went like all over me. So I made this fake promo video where I'm like, I'm flying to New York, I'm slapboxing you at your home club at the Stand. We're gonna do it out there.
Yeah.
I happen to have been going out there for do shows or whatever, but everybody's like, is he actually gonna do this? I fly out there, we do it on the streets outside of the Stand in New York, circle style, with a ton of comics around us.
Right.
They're filming it. We're going back and forth, and
all fun and games.
All fun and games, but like we're trying, and it's escalating because we end up catching each other a couple times, and when we catch each other, we realize like, oh, we're going all in.
Are there rules?
Only you can't close fist, open hand. Okay. You can't use your body.
No wrestling.
No wrestling. No grappling. It's
slap
completely.
Fight.
It's a slap fight. And
this is so funny.
And we filmed it as part of their Legion of Skanks podcast, and I ended up winning. And it was I caught him a couple times so loud where it rang like.
In the city.
In the city,
Yeah.
the streets of New York. And the last time I caught him, everybody goes, "Ah!"
Uh-oh.
And that was the
Ego.
moment where,
His
where-
ego, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he was so shocked that I caught him that, like, because I had been training. I trained a little bit with one of my buddies who was a boxer.
No.
He goes, all right, yeah, you've never fought, but like, he goes, show me video of the first time that you guys slap box. And he goes, this is what this guy's doing. And he told me his mistakes of how he was squaring up.
Like what? Do you remember?
Like he was like every time that I faked, he would go like this, like because he was worried about getting hit. He goes, when he does that, you catch him with the other hand. So that because he's going like this, and he's closing off one side, but he's leaving up this completely open. So I did that on the final time where he went like this and he went up, and then I come around and I've got I'm even hitting the camera. My arms are so long. I literally.
Ooh.
And I have people to this day that come up to me on the road. They're like, thank you for slapping the crap out of Luis J. Gomez. People will come out to my shows and be like, thank you for doing a service for us.
He does have a reputation.
Because I'm like, look at me. I'm like the most like unassuming guy for a fight.
Yeah.
And then it just is one of those things where it was one of those moments.
When everyone went, oh, and his ego went, was it like?
Oh, he came at me.
Yeah.
I had to completely go like this because he started like hitting me in the stomach and stuff. And they're like, whoa, break it up, because started doing body shots.
Right,
and they're like, whoa. And I got crowned the slapbox champ that night.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Did he accept that? Did he accept
He
that
has-
you won?
He has challenged me so many times since then. He's wanted to do it at Skankfest multiple times. I go, I'll never do it again, man.
That
I
is
say you have to
so
live with that the
great.
rest of your life.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, it's gonna kill him.
It's a funnier bit to me.
Oh, definitely.
Rather than doing it again and then he trains,
Yeah.
he lights me up. I know he's going to light me up. The element of surprise is gone. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so great that like you just got that tip and it works.
Yeah.
You know? You should do though the big fights, the big fight scenarios, you
Yeah.
know? Announce that there's gonna be a fight, let it run,
yeah.
back injury,
Uh-huh.
gotta fall out.
Yeah,
You gotta
yeah.
do it. You know what I mean? It's back on, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Sorry, can't. I have a colonoscopy to go. It's like something.
Oh, yeah. Just keep delaying it.
Yeah, just keep delaying it forever.
Well, what was so great about that is since they caught it on video, Ari Shaffir went on Rogan later that year and he told Rogan about it. He goes, comedians are slapboxing? He goes, pull it up. I want to see this. He ended up commentating on the fight. Which ate at Lewis even more because he's a big, MMA guy,
Yeah.
and it was just a fun moment. It was a weird chain of events where I'm like, this is just one of the silliest bits I've ever done that turned into like a thing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You never know what's gonna stick.
Yeah.
That's why I bake bread.
Yeah.
Joey, is that camera okay after the prize fighter knocked it?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. Right.
Adding some real-time effects to the podcast.
Yeah, this is good. It's very cool.
Yeah.
What's your who you got? You've got an expectant wife and a 2-year-old. Who does the cooking in the house?
More my wife than me.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you grow up when you grew up? You grew up in
Kansas. Yeah.
Was mom or dad the cook? Dad's not. Dad's a salesman. Maybe
Yeah.
around the grill.
Amazing grill guy.
Right.
Taught me how to barbecue.
Yeah.
He is great at, doing the burgers, the hot dogs, marinating chicken over the grill, all that kind of stuff. My mom, fantastic cook. My dad would do breakfast. He was on breakfast duty sometimes. So
That's
he
good.
would do his scrambled eggs or his over medium eggs. He'd do cheese toast,
Oh yeah.
cinnamon toast.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Cheese toast in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's good.
That was we'd get that on Sunday mornings, and it was like a treat if we got cheese toast. And it's just cheese on bread in a little convectional oven, but
How it just melts.
it just melts it, and it's so
Yeah.
good. I mean, it's cheese and bread. How could you not? It's an open-faced grilled cheese. It's
I
amazing.
love a good dad. A good dad known for part of the menu.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Then brown sugar and cinnamon just with butter.
Oh, that
Tons
is
of
the
butter.
best.
Toasted, Just sugar and cinnamon exploding everywhere.
It's so
butter
good.
running down your. Oh, it's so
The
good.
best.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
I know.
You
You
could.
can make some mean cinnamon bread with this.
You really could.
Really good.
So have you taken on breakfast in the dad lineage?
I'll cook breakfast for my wife every once in a while. It needs to be more often. She'll agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
Because she does like when I do the breakfast, I try to make it special where like I get some fruit, cut it up. The presentation for me is important, so it's not just like eggs on a plate.
Yeah, yeah.
But
You want to take some time?
yeah.
Do you have a waffle in you? Do you
links.
have a pancake in you?
I never do. We do like the pre-frozen ones from like Trader Joe's that come in
Those are
like a
good.
6-pack where we'll just put those in the toaster.
Yep.
And my son loves those.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's obsessed with those.
That's
like-
amazing.
Pancakes? Loves them.
It's so funny that my kids are 20 and 17, and that there's a couple items that are still around.
The go-tos.
From day one, like, you know what I mean? Like the Eggo or the Morning Star.
I'm a Pop-Tart guy still.
Chicken nuggets, the Pop-Tarts.
I still will do s'mores Pop-Tarts and brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts.
Brown sugar cinnamon, man. I was a strawberry Pop-Tart. my
Frosted
whole
or
life.
unfrosted?
Frosted.
Yeah, you got to do
Come
frosted.
on. Frosted.
Come on.
Whenever I even, when I was a kid, if it was unfrosted, I was like, what are we, poor?
Yeah. Where'd it go? Why would you get it without the frosting?
What is wrong with us?
Who shopped for us this time, Mom?
Yeah. And it really is kind of funny to think that, like, taking the frosting off, was that a healthy move? You're still eating a Pop-Tart.
Yeah. It's literally jammed with sugar.
Seinfeld's going to have a movie coming out about the making of the Pop-Tart.
No.
He loves Pop-Tarts.
Really?
And he turned me on to the brown sugar, actually.
Oh, that's one of the OG flavors for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I don't know the name of the. I'm sorry, my phone. I don't know the name of it, but it's like a funny movie. A lot of comedians are in it, of kind of the business people behind Kellogg's, like coming up with the Pop-Tart.
Oh, that's great.
And everything that goes down. I love that.
I'll watch that.
That's a comedian obsession. I watched him work on a bit for Pop-Tarts for like 5 years, and it's so good that like the bit was good, but it was never like it was one of his like huge moments in the set. And that is such a demented comedy mind of like, what else can I do with this? I'm not going to let this go.
Right.
This is so important.
Yeah,
to
I'm going
me.
to keep tweaking this until it's
I'm
perfect.
Yeah, and I'm going to make it into a movie.
Are you, does it have to be a hot Pop-Tart for you, or will you eat them cold?
I'll eat them cold.
I'll eat them cold a lot.
They're definitely better. I mean, the kind of joy I get about toasting it is that the frosting around the edge of the frosting will burn pretty quickly before it's even really done.
Yeah.
But I like that.
Yeah.
It's like a little burnt
You
marshmallow.
milk with breakfast kind of guy? Or is that,
When I was a kid,
yeah.
but not as an adult.
Yeah.
You still have a glass of milk?
I still enjoy milk.
You do?
I had milk with a sandwich the other night.
You really?
I did, and I loved it.
Sounds great.
I mean, it's too decadent. You really don't need it. It was a full glass of milk. I made myself a turkey sandwich after like a long day, and I was in heaven. It was like a comfort food. My dad also, he's a sandwich guy. He would after I would get done with like a game, or I'd be done with work late. My mom or my dad would make these big deli sandwiches where it's like, it's just like too much mayo and mustard and just cheese and like sometimes tomatoes with pepper and stuff on it. And I love it.
It's the best. That I don't know what your dad looks like, but just hearing that he's a salesman, he's out there talking, that seems like the kind of sandwich that guy would
Oh yeah, he's on the phone while he's making it. Yeah.
doing that when you spread the condiments both ways with the knife.
yeah, it's covered in mustard and mayonnaise now. Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
There's something so I don't know, maybe because we grew up that way and you see it in movies, old movies. The thing of just that simple little sandwich with a glass of milk.
Oh,
seems so
I love
refreshing.
I'm like,
I
America.
literally haven't done that in 30 years.
You really?
Yeah, no.
I love it. I literally did it a couple days ago.
Do you dunk in your milk? Are you a cookie and milk guy?
I'm not that white. I'm very white, but I don't dip my sandwiches in the milk.
Not the sandwich,
okay.
but like an Oreo or
yeah, I mean, okay, I am that white. Yeah. Yeah, I'll do the Oreo in milk for sure. I mean, I love that. I'm full Oreo in, half sometimes, put it back. Ooh, love it.
The beauty of that is that's only yours. That glass of milk is yours.
It's
you
done.
can double, triple dip. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
this isn't a shared.
It's a bold move.
Yeah.
Just back and forth. You're not. You're not sharing.
No,
this is Dad's glass.
Yeah, Dad's glass. Yeah, that's right. I'm taking a bite with my lips and putting it right
Yeah.
back in.
Go get your own cup. Yeah.
How do you like being a dad?
I love it. I really do.
Two is oh my God.
It's just
how adorable is two.
It's making me really appreciate just smaller and simpler moments.
Mm-hmm.
He farted the other day, but it was like a man fart.
Yeah.
It was like for 20 seconds. And while he's doing it, he's looking at me. And then at the end, he just goes, like, what do you think?
Huh?
And I start laughing. Then he starts laughing, which he starts laughing hard because he knows that he really got me. And then that made me laugh even harder. We were having a laugh fit over his fart for literally like a couple minutes. And I'm like, this is such a pure, just great father-son moment for me.
Amazing.
It's so simple, but it's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh my God. That is so I love how they have no qualms about making eye contact.
Oh yeah.
While they're taking care of their business.
That's when we would know that he was pooping himself. Is he'd be playing and all over his own world, but then he would find us, connect eyes, and then go for it. We're like, oh, we need to change him now because he's making eye contact.
What's her name? I apologize. Who hosts Jeopardy? Balak. Joey, what's her name? Very funny actor. Maya Balak. She hosts Jeopardy. She has her own podcast, and it's not Maya, but it's something like that. Anyway, he'll find.
Mayim Bialik?
Yes. Mayim Bialik?
Mayim?
We're definitely butchering that, but yeah, she's hilarious and she's very smart, and she's the host of her own podcast and Jeopardy. I mean, we're not being asked to host Jeopardy. I saw her in a clip. I discovered her podcast, so I was like, started checking it out.
Yeah.
And I don't know who she was talking to, but she was saying that raising her children, no diapers. And that you can tell from their nonverbal cues, they're telling you when they're going to go.
Really?
Yeah.
I've heard of people potty training, but not completely going diaperless.
This is before the potty part. Yeah. And there's a lot of holes in it. Like, okay, but you don't who pays attention to their kid that much? Like,
yeah.
It's not always eyes on.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
But she was saying no diapers.
That sounds so crazy to me.
I know.
Because I've seen the horror movies that my son has committed in his diapers, and it just doesn't sound like that would be a good fit for our home. It just
because it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah,
like they'll just be like talking to you and then plop.
Well, that's the thing. It's like he'll look at me out of no. Yeah, and I'm like, we just changed you though.
Yeah. I have a lot of questions. I'm gonna have to get on her podcast.
I would be shocked if that actually works for her.
Joey, see if we can get her on the podcast.
Or if she's just like trying to be new age, where it's like, no, it's to save the environment. And
yeah, I think it does have shades of that, but she's very convincing, and she is like next level smart. So I'm like, and she said in it, like, this isn't for everyone. But I mean, there's got to be times when you and your spouse are both doing stuff at the same, like,
right.
Who's got eyes on them all the time?
Yeah.
There's no way.
That sounds insane to me.
I have a pug that pees all over the place. His name is Frank. and his brain is like an acorn, and he cannot get it together. He can't figure out what's inside, what's outside. Some of it's spite, some of it's whatever. And he literally just, if he doesn't have diaper on, like we have to put a Velcro diaper on him. If he doesn't have that on,
Game over.
Game over.
Yeah.
He's got, there's no watching him, and we'll
Do you have a lot of
eyes
carpet
on,
at your place too?
and he'll just kind of like get out of your sight for a second, and it's go time.
Yep.
I can't do it.
Yeah, that's hard too, because then you're like, do you smell something over here? You start being a detective in your own home. That's weird.
I literally was doing push-ups in my bedroom.
Oh.
And exactly. Where? God damn it.
Yeah. Frank, get in my office.
Frank Pete again. You got to make the whole announcement to the whole family.
Yeah.
When? I don't know. It seems kind of dry. Not yesterday, but
11,
a long time ago.
12. I don't know. Just.
Oh, you had a very funny bit I wanted to ask you about. In your special Daddy.
Yes.
That is on the YouTube.
It's on the YouTubes for free now. Head on over there and type something about bread in the comments so I know that you came from baking bread.
Yes, exactly. You had a very funny bit about working out during the pandemic, and that you you thought it was going to be a moment when everyone was going to have their time to like work out, and then the pandemic sends you apart, and your doctor told you that you needed more bone, not bone. That's the punchline.
3 more pounds of skeletal mass.
3 more pounds of skeletal mass he wanted you to add.
Yeah, and I looked at the trainer and I'm like, you want me to gain bone? What exercise is that?
And he's like,
He's like,
know.
we don't know.
That is the weirdest thing I ever heard. Because when you start the bit, it's funny because you're thin,
right,
and in shape, and it's like, what does he have to work out for?
Yeah,
and it's like, oh my god,
oh, he needs more bones in his body.
He needs more bone.
Yep,
that's hilarious. What is it? Did you do it?
No. So it's funny, since the specials come out. I guess there are certain exercises that you can do that will increase your bone density.
Really?
That it's certain strength training and stuff. And they're like, oh yeah, they're saying that because you're so thin.
Really?
Like you don't have muscle mass. So like you need to gain bone so you can gain more muscle. Jeez. It's like one go hand in hand.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you feel too skinny?
No,
Did you ever feel too skinny?
I never do. I mean, I literally sometimes I'm very thin. You know, I'm a very long, thin. Obviously, I hit your camera just like accidentally extending my arms.
You're
I can't control my body. There's a marionette puppet over here,
folding like a ladder.
Yeah,
just keeps going.
Yeah, no, I never felt too skinny. I mean, I constantly feel like I'm gaining weight in weird areas and stuff. Where I'm looking at my body in the mirror, I'm like, why am I skinny everywhere? But I'll just have tits one week, or or like I'll have like a thick waist, like, oh, that boy's thick,
right?
Yeah, it's like it's weird where I gain weight.
God, for me, there's no such thing as too skinny. I'm so jealous of thin.
Right.
Like it's just you could wear everything, always look good in a suit.
Yeah.
Like you always look sharp.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, the idea of like gaining more, it would be like God saying, here's a reward for the rest of your life. You have to try and gain weight.
I mean, I might be one of the few out there, but I think Chappelle went a little extreme with how much he bulked up. Like, because he used to be really skinny.
Yeah.
Like, real, and maybe he heard it too much over the years where he's like, no, I'm going to get big.
Yeah.
But like, that's like, for me, like, I can't imagine myself looking how I do and gaining 30 pounds of muscle like he did. That's literally, that's a different person.
Totally different person.
Different vibe, everything.
Yeah. No, there's something, you're thinking about it when you're looking at the guys. Like,
right.
You're thinking about it. Yeah. Carrot Top did it too.
He got huge.
Yeah. And there is kind of, I bet there's a little subconscious thing when all of a sudden all the light is shining on you and everyone's talking about you and evaluating you.
It's why sitcom actors, you'll see their weight fluctuate so much. Season 1, they're pretty large.
Yeah.
Because they're the funny fat friend.
Yep.
Season 2, they've seen enough reviews and everything, they start curving back on the weight a little bit. Season 3, they've lost 30 or 40 pounds.
I know.
Almost every single time.
I know. And it's even people that kind of have that thing where they kind of rail against Hollywood in the beginning. They kind of have that thing of like, I'm not going to do it. I mean, I get it's a complicated thing.
It is.
Mindy Kaling came out in the Oscars like really thin, smoking hot in this dress. And it was like that a different Mindy showed up in the beginning. Like a different like, and you can't begrudge it. It's like feeling your beauty and you have that thing, but it's also a reaction to God, all the eyes on you. I mean, I get part of the reason we got here early was just to get an angle that wasn't making my double chin show. How is it holding up? Is it? Yeah. Is it better than it was before? They can't tell.
Could we get a reverse fisheye for my nose, please? Could we put that in post? Have an invert going in? There's a fun
That was
house?
a very funny joke too in the special. I'm sorry, I'm fanboning on the special, but that I can't do 69. What do you call it? I have a sexual secret.
I have a sexual handicap.
Handicap.
I have a handicap during sex. Yeah. I can't 69 because my nose is too big. Yeah. Ends up in the butthole every single time.
It's so funny. I love jokes like that because you've just now given everybody the gift of having to think about that. And it's not a thought that comes in and out quickly. Like
It's visual terrorism. You're commandeering someone's imagination and shaking them real fast. And,
exactly. It's not what some images you put out and they laugh and it moves on.
Yeah.
But that one you kind of linger.
Yeah.
Because we're sitting with your nose for quite some time.
Yeah. And one of the comments was, oh, that angle that they switched to on his nose is just foul. Why did the editor do that? And I commented back, I'll ask the editor, me. And then it gets funny.
Yeah, right.
It gives you a stronger visual.
Oh my God. You read comments?
I do, but I've gotten to a point where I'm very analytical with them, where I can look at them from a producer standpoint, where I'm like, every once in a while I'm like, oh, that's a good note.
Yeah.
But for the most part, if it's just like, there's going to be trolls out there.
Sure.
And I'm like, okay, on to the next one.
Right.
Oh, nice. Okay. I can filter through them.
Right.
And
what makes
I
sense
still need to get to a place where I'm not reading them at all. That's where I need to get. But right now I've gotten to a healthy place where I'm like, I can deliberate and not have them dwell with me long term. So.
Yeah, it's a tricky thing, especially now with comedy. Like after Chris Rock's special, I saw in the Times, someone was kind of like ripping apart the special and saying things about just things that just was like, this isn't really about comedy. Like this is all identity stuff, and he doesn't know that the world has moved on in certain ways, and this seemed old or whatever. I'm like, who is this? Who's writing this? Yeah. And it was an identity reporter. It's like they do cultural identity and stuff like that, and it's like this is not this. God bless you. I'm all for what that section is. Mm-hmm. Who's ever the chief editor? Mm-hmm. How about you put the comedy person on the comedy? Yeah, because it's almost embarrassing how little you know about comedy.
Also, I've noticed anybody who goes out of their way to sling mud is trying to make a name for themselves. Yeah, that's all they're doing. 100%. It's a weird they're getting all this attention. I want some of that. Yes, it's a weird. To me, that's more of a sickness than just being like, I want attention, not being aware that you're looking for it in weird ways. Totally. That to me, I'm like, that's you. I know that I'm messed up, but you haven't even began your journey yet.
Right. And that really makes sense because comedy's has such a bigger place in the culture right now. So of course everyone's going to be rubbing up against it. Yeah. Yeah, that's bad. It is pretty funny when you get hit with just a regular person saying something just really funny about you.
Oh yeah. And you're like, ooh, all right.
Yeah, good one. Good one. And it's like a 13-year-old kid somewhere just popping off.
Oh yeah. I'm like, okay, well, I can say that about me and my act now. Perfect. Somebody said this about me. Great. Thanks for the joke, buddy. Thanks for the free roast joke.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. Are you still doing roasts? I know you were.
I do. So every once in a while, we haven't done it very often, but I'll pop in for. We'll do the wave for roast battle with me, Jamar Neighbors, and Willie Hunter. It's kind of like a fun anniversary thing. But I'll write some roast jokes for people occasionally and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I've done like some ghost writing and that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I myself don't battle too much.
No.
It's not really my thing. I like the silly more than like the mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Doing like bigger pieces in the middle of it. Kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Like one show that was going on in LA for a long time that I really liked was the fictional roast and historical roast.
Right.
Because it was, you're roasting people who are dead. It doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
Or you're roasting like literally fictional like Disney characters or something. I like that because nobody's feelings are getting hurt. I get to play a character.
Right.
They're not coming after me. It's a win-win for me that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. It's amazing how that became so big.
Yeah.
We have a young guy on our radio show that's kind of finding his way, and he's like wading in, and it's like for like someone starting and being able to like get in there and like do it, it's like that's pretty great.
It's a big in for people who, especially like if you're wanting to be seen by some bigger people. They always have great judges, and Moses and Jeff Ross are always bringing in great people. So
yeah. So what are you gonna do now? You're gonna run after new material for a bit?
Yeah, I'm kind of excited.
Yeah,
I've been working.
Freedom.
I mean, yeah, I
you can do whatever you want now.
That's just kind of fun about like putting this hour out. It's a really good motivator to stop doing that material to work on the next hour. And I've luckily over the last couple of years, I've been rotating out other material because I knew that I was going to be putting out a special eventually. So I'm not starting from scratch, which is it's real nice.
Right. Yeah.
So I've got the bits that I know that are working that will be in the next hour, and then I'm working on a lot of new stuff that I'm excited about. So it's kind of a fun place to be because if I want to riff for a long time with these shows, I just gave them an hour for free.
Yeah.
So and they can go watch that. Like I'm like, hey, I just put out a new hour that was different from the one that you saw tonight.
Yeah.
Go check it out. Like that's kind of a freeing feeling.
It is really freeing. I almost feel like it might be smart. I don't know if this is I'll ask you.
Yeah.
My special came out at the end of the year, and I have a pretty much a solid hour right now.
Yeah.
It's March. And I know I'm not going to film something big and legit for a beat,
Right.
But I almost like this act is really fresh. It's loose. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. The people close to me are really digging it, you know? It almost feels like, should I just lock in and just film this and then just give it to people, just put it out and then move on and go, like, why hang on to it?
Well, for years, I had the problem of holding on to bits too closely and making them too sacred to the point where they would go out of they'd spoil.
Right, not as fresh.
You do them too much, or even topical wise, or just the way people feel about. I'm not even a political guy, but just certain things that you joke about. Sometimes later on, they're like, maybe you shouldn't joke about certain things or whatever,
or just your delivery, like you don't even know why.
Yeah, you don't know why it starts going stale sometimes, but maybe you just like have gone through it too many times. But I don't know, maybe that's the thing. That's what's so interesting about this new wave. That's what's going on with YouTube, with a bunch of great comedians putting out specials on YouTube for free. Is this the new trend, or is this an in-between point for the next thing? We don't really know. We're in the middle of it right now.
I know.
So it's working for some people, and other people, they're like, okay, maybe the next time I might do it with some kind of network or something.
Right. Yeah, it is interesting. It's like whenever it happens, and then everybody starts going towards the direction, whatever it is, like crowd work on social media, that kind of thing. It's like, and then at a certain point, it's like it becomes too late. It becomes like
I think that there was a handful of comedians that did it properly, but I think like the moment thing.
Yeah.
It's like a pay-per-view kind of event for people's specials. I don't know if that's gonna catch like maybe some people thought it would. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I think some people did it right, but I think they did it right because they were the first ones to do it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Right.
Like they were the pioneers, but
And then I show up 2 years later and I'm like, I'm going to get into the crowd work thing. And it's like,
Right.
now we're
it's
on to something else.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. It's weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
But it really did. Yeah. You know, there's also a fear factor because it's like, if I just record this and put it out, will I have stuff for a good special next? Like, then you got to just,
I know.
But there's something pretty, I don't know. There's something cool about just releasing something so quickly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's ballsy.
It would be ballsy.
Yeah.
But we always come up with new stuff.
Well, that's the thing.
I think that's what we've kind of taught ourselves. Like,
well, yeah. Also, you're a great comic, which you'll push yourself to make more great stuff.
Yeah. But then also be back into the thing I was feeling at the end of January, like, shit. I gotta go on tour.
But I think that's, I don't know. I think that comfort can be toxic to comedy.
Yeah.
I really do.
I believe you.
I think discomfort is what fuels all of us to get to that next level. I think that's why a lot of huge comedians, after a while, they lose how sharp they are because they've gotten a little bit too comfortable. They have a little bit too many yes men around them that are saying, this is hilarious, when you need the cold, shocking reality that joke just fell flat and nobody liked it.
Yeah.
Now you got to figure out why.
Yeah.
Was it the delivery? Was it the writing? Was it the performance? What happened?
I was just saying this to Fortune. That's why the sets in town, in places where it's not all your people, are so valuable.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, because walking out on stage in town at the Comedy Store or the Cellar or whatever, you're like, oh, that joke that I really like doing on the road is, I don't know if it's going to make it in front of this crowd of 18 to 25 right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, it's a good check.
It is a good reality check.
Yeah.
Bringing in a joke that you think that works in other places and then to a place like late night somewhere where you're like, oh, this isn't holding up.
Yeah, right, exactly.
What's wrong with this?
That's a good way to
put
it.
How do I fix this?
Yeah.
To make it an unbreakable joke where you can take it anywhere. I mean, that's the goal for all our jokes.
Because it does, going the other way is not a worry. Mm-hmm. Taking something from the store and then bringing it on the road, like, that's going to work.
It's always going to work.
The other way is...
It's the other way.
Yeah.
That's literally, I forget who said this. I loved who said, somebody was in the back of the OR and I was watching a comic with them. And they were only having a mid-set, and this comic leans over to me and they go, they've got a little bit too much of the road on them. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, listen, you see how they're leaning in and they're not getting much back? That's the road. They're used to getting tons of laughs on these jokes, and they haven't sharpened it in a while.
Selling it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got some road on them. I'm like, I love that. I'm like, okay, that's good for me to look out for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did a thing where, and I haven't, where I started I watched Chris Rock when he would come around before his big sets. He would just hit a baseball cap on and just keep the mic in the stand and just kind of go through the jokes with feeling, but just do. And there was nothing extra selling the joke.
I love how he does that.
And I adopted it, and I was like, yeah, let's, because I can mug, I can act, let's see if the material is as good as without all the ornamentation, and now it's become a habit. Now I haven't taken it out. It's like, because the jokes do become more potent.
Yeah.
In a way. I don't know. It's so great.
Yeah.
All right, so listen, you're gonna go home to your family.
I'm going to put that at 200 degrees
right
in the oven. Maybe spritz it a little bit with some water, freshen up a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe leave it in for about 10 minutes. We'll see.
Maybe 5.
Maybe 5. And I'm going to cut it up. I'm going to definitely put some kind of butter on it.
That's yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, the thing I can't break, and I do it all different ways, and all the just toast with butter. To put it in the toaster. You don't even have to put it in the oven for that. Mm-hmm. You're going to be golden.
Yeah.
You're going to be golden.
Yeah.
If you could possibly send me a picture of your 2-year-old eating it.
Okay. Okay.
That would warm my heart.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, so this was our first time in this little space.
I loved it.
Anything you want to change? Anything you want next time?
I think the lighting's good.
Okay.
I think it looks pretty solid.
Nice.
I like this bread, kind of like 80s kind of Wonder Bread kind of vibe
Nice.
as the background.
Good job, Joey.
Nice and intimate.
Yeah.
I like having the bread on display the whole podcast.
Yeah.
That's key. That's good. I like
That is
that a
good.
lot.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a good.
Well, you're the best.
Dude, you're the best.
Really
Thanks.
nice hanging with you.
Yeah, I love getting to bring you up or getting to follow you at the store
Yeah.
every once in a while.
Always
so
good.
fun.
Yeah. Stop being so funny. We got it, Joey. Well, there you have it. The great Jeremiah Watkins. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like and follow and do all those things and share and spread the word and tell people about our amazing podcast. Go to tompapa.com for all the tour dates for the new book. We're all in this together, so make some room. I have to say, it did hold up. You know, when I was reading it, you're never happy with everything. You're like, oh, I could have changed this word. I could have changed that. But I have to say, as a whole, I'm pretty proud of it. I think you're really going to like it. So you can pre-order it now, and then we're going to be announcing some book events and things like that to go along with the stand-up tour. Thank you all for being here, and we'll see you next time.